Welcome back to the channel, guys. So in today's video, we are going to go ahead and talk about Blair. So in this video, I'm going to explain his abilities, and then I'm going to show you a build. Now, I'm going to show you two builds because um, there are two different styles you can play him, and I'm really excited to test out the second one with hard mode bosses. But anyways, so we'll get to that one. That'll be the second build that I show you. The first build will be just playing based off of his core mechanics. So anyways, without wasting time, let's just get straight into this. All right, so to start us off, I'm gonna go ahead and break down Blair's abilities. So let's go ahead and check out his abilities. All right, so his first ability is called Blaze Up. Blaze Up is literally you just drop some fire on the floor, and it lasts a certain amount, some certain duration. It does initial damage, and then it also does burn damage over time. So, let's say you put this down, and the enemy runs through it. They're going to take damage while they're running through it, and once they exit it, they're still going to take some burn damage. Now, the burn damage is nowhere close to the damage that they'll take while they're standing in the zone, but it's still a little bit of extra damage when they leave the zone, especially because he doesn't have like insane range on it, right? So let's just talk about the stats on it, like the paper stats. Basic information, maximum stacks is 3. So slap down 3 of them, Jones. Stack cooldown, 12 seconds. This is base. We're talking about base right now. I'm not going to be breaking down. Well, okay, I'll just tell you both. So we got base of 12 seconds with a skill cooldown modifier 7.8 seconds. MP cost is 25. All right, and then your flame zone. So the fire. Oh, the basic info. The stacks are. It's for his passive, which we'll get to that. But flame zone. So it's continuous damage. Damage intervals 1 second. So it'll hit. It'll tick damage every 1 second. Duration 12 seconds. Base with some duration mods on, you get 15. I got 15.8 seconds. Your range is 3.5 meters. That's a small range. I don't like that, but that's why I put range mods on. So if you see, we're at 6.7 meters. So we almost doubled it. Max extendable range is 200%. So you can only get 200% of the base range. So you can only go so large. Otherwise, I would put this thing as large as possible. Like a whole boss room will be covered with the fire if I could. Now, the burn, the damage over time. It's continuous damage, only 8.2% of your skill powered. Really, really low. Damage intervals as well is 1 second, and the duration is 5 seconds base, but with some duration mods, mine is 6.6. So that's your first ability. Super simple, super easy. I'm gonna just show you what the first ability looks like. And this is the first ability. Got the fire all on the floor. Let's spawn some enemies so we can see the tick rates here. Let's put them at level 100, 109, invincibility on so they don't die. So here's your ability. First ability. There we go. So that's ability 1. Just a flame zone. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Now your second ability. Doesn't do any damage. As you can see from the video, each flame pool that you put down on the floor, this ability is called extinguish. You can call it. You can like get rid of it, and it'll summon a ball that comes right back to you. And those flame balls that come back to you give you a buff, which is called aggressive flavor. What does a buff do? All right, so MP recovery amount per flame zone, you get 19. So you're getting 19 MP back. Your mana bar, you're getting 19 points back for each ball. And then also skill power modifier increase is 23%. And then the duration is 10 seconds at base minus 13.2 seconds. So 13.2 seconds of that skill power modifier increase. So 23% of skill power modifier increase for your next abilities. But but you only have a limited time for that. So realistically, what you would do is call that back and either throw your ult or call them back and um, use your third ability, which we'll get to. But so let me show you what that looks like. So we pulling this back. Got one out. Now watch. Press your second ability. Pulls it out. Brings you a flame ball back. Now you can see that green thing on the left side of my character. That's the timer showing you your ability. The aggressive flavor ability is active, and that's the timer of it. Now, that's our second ability. Pretty clear cut and dry. You can definitely put these down in some areas and stuff like that. And let's say you have 3 down and you killed that mob of enemies, but they're not spawning there anymore. Call them back, because even if you don't get you don't get to utilize the skill power modifier increase, at least you'll still get some mana back, some MP. So I would just say call it back every time they're not in use. Don't just let it time out or burn out. I mean, sometimes they just burn out, but try to call it back if they're not actively damaging anything. Let's get to the third ability. So your third ability, it's pretty good. I would say the damage on it's pretty nice. Um, I'm gonna give you the pros and the cons to this ability real quick. So, well, after I explain it. So the third ability is called Burn Taste. It's just a flamethrower. You're shooting a flamethrower out your hand. That's all it is. Now the basic information is a 30-second cooldown ability with cooldown mods. I got mine to 19.4 second cooldown. Costs 35 MP to cast. Your skill effect, it's continuous damage, just like his other abilities. That does 132.6% of your skill power. Your damage intervals, 0.3 seconds. So every 0.3 of a second, you get a damage tick. And the duration is 4.5 seconds. The range is 3 meters. Once again, it's a fairly short range, but with range mods, I got mine to 5.8 meters. And you can only max extendable range. You can only get it to 2 times the range. So 6 meters max. Now, this also, just like his fire puddles, has a burning effect. And the burning effect is 8.2% of your skill power. Damage intervals just the same as the first ability, 1 second. Duration is the same, 5 seconds. With duration mods, I have mine at 6.6 seconds. So the burn effect isn't that great, but the initial damage of this is beautiful. So let's go ahead and show this into action. So here's your ability. Now, as you can see, the damage is already a lot higher than that flame pool. Now let's go to his ultimate ability. His ultimate ability is called Deadly, whatever that word is. Cuisine, Deadly Cuisine, I don't know. Anyways, it's just a giant fireball. You summon a giant fireball above your head, yeet it. Now, it splits into 3 other fireballs. I'm pretty sure it's 3. Yeah, it's 3 fireballs. I will say, the smaller fireballs do way more damage than the initial big fireball. So, anyways, let's go ahead and look at the basic information of this. Basic info, it's 120-second cooldown with cooldown mods. I got mine to 77.6 seconds. MP cost is 60, so it's a hefty one. The giant fireball, which is the initial fireball, the burst damage, is 407.1% of your skill power. So it's pretty good. Your explosion damage range is 6 meters, which that's pretty nice, because if you look at the range of this, that's 6.7 meters. You know what I mean? For base, that's pretty good. But with range mods, you can get to 11.5 meters. Well, at least for what I got. You can get this to 200%, which is 12 meters, but you see, I'm almost there. Now, max extendable range, 200%, so you can get it to a max of 12 meters. I have mine at 11.5. And your small fireballs. So your small fireballs, once the initial fireball explodes, then 3 small ones will come out and explode right after. Those You get 3 of them. The burst damage of that, 616.8% of your skill power. These small fireballs are crazy. Now, the explosive damage range for the small fireballs is practically half, right? So it's the same size as your regular puddle, like your first ability at 3.5, and you can extend it 200%, so you can get 7 meters. Well, I have mine at 6.7 meters. So the range isn't absolute absurd, but they do travel short distance, so they cover a bigger area. So it's pretty nice. Now the flame zone, the fire that lingers on the ground after the explosions. Continuous damage is only 28.3% of your skill power. Damage intervals 1 second like normal. Duration is 12 seconds long with duration mods. Mine's at 15.8. Now your range, once again, it's all of your puddles will always be the same size. From your first ability to this ability, it's all going to be the same size. So 3.5, um, which you can get to a max of 7 meters and stuff like that. The burn damage is also going to be the same across the board. All his abilities will still inflict the same amount of burn, so we don't got to say that one again. So I want to show you this ability. But I actually am going to go ahead and take off invincibility. So we can, see, can we kill him? Can we kill them or not, right? So, because I don't want to accidentally hit the first guy, I'm just going to come right here, go straight in the middle. Yeah, that's insane. Okay, let's go ahead and redo that, but I guess we'll go. Oh crap! Wait a minute. Totally forgot. Somebody died. Okay, let's respawn it. All right. We'll sit here and see. I want you to be able to see this. Okay, you might have seen the small fireballs there, but it pretty much annihilated all of them. So I'm gonna wait for that to go. But let's go ahead and check out his passive now. His passive ability. So Pitmaster is the name. Now, I'll read the description for you real quick. So, the description. When attacking enemies afflicted with burn, increase skill critical hit damage, increase skill critical hit rate based on the number of flame zones created on the battlefield. So, skill critical hit damage increase, default 10%. Skill critical hit rate increase for the flames, each flame zone. 1 flame zone gives you 5 crit rate, 2, 9, and 3 or more gives you 14. So the max you can get is 3. Remember when you've seen the first ability, how it says maximum stacks is 3. So you can only get 3 stacks total. You can consume 6 if you want, but you're only going to get benefits of 3. So 14% crit rate is a max you can get with 10% critical hit damage. That's just his passive. All right, so how would I say you play him? So there's 2 ways you can play him, right? And this is where the build comes in. The build portion of the video comes in. So, 1, you can play him as he's originally intended. He is a burst. He seems to be a burst DPS character, right? And what do I mean by burst? Pushing out a lot of damage in a short amount of time. Now, you might think, okay, well, his flame puddles, that's damage over time with sustained DPS over a certain, 10, 15 seconds or whatever. Yes, but his passive is what makes him a burst. So you put down your flame puddles just to, help you clear out or whatever. But once the boss comes, you consume those, bust out the flamethrower, catch them all, and, the burst DPS. As you see, the flamethrower does a lot more damage. Or even bust out the ult and push out insane numbers. So he's a burst DPS type of character. You definitely can play him as sustained DPS, just maximize duration as much as you can. I would just say be careful with duration because of his third ability. Let me show you. I like them well done. With that ability, you can't dodge, you can't cancel it. Once you use it, The only way you can get out of it is if an enemy like knocks you down or stuns you or whatever. Other than that, you can't get out of that. So maximizing duration, if you plan on using that, it could get you into some trouble sometimes, right? Depends. Now you can build him like a glass cannon, or you can build him well balanced around. And this is what I use for farming. This is what I use for like dungeon content or defense missions or something like that. This is what I use. I use a different build, which the second build I'm showing you for bossing. If I want to go kill bosses fast. Now, you might think because I said that kill bosses fast with Blair. How? Like it's Blair. You know, everyone. You should be using Glay. Don't get me wrong. Let me show you something. Check out my Glay. All right. He's right here, down here.
What's my role?
That
Cook?
that symbol at the top means I put the modulator capacity thing on her, so that way I get extra 30. And then the symbol at the bottom means I used the formas or the catalysts 3 times on her so I can optimize the build, right? So trust me, Glaze my favorite. But I think Blair's pretty freaking good. I think he might be underrated. He is underrated, and I'm gonna tell you why for the second build. Anyways. Let me show you the first build. Let me stop yapping off. So the first build. So obviously you want to get something inside of your slot here and max that out because this gives you a maximum of plus 10 more mod capacities. So that's the first thing you need to be making sure you level up. Well, I mean, level up other things simultaneously as well, but make sure you get one of these maxed at least. You don't have to use the fist. You can use, let's see, there's a kicking one, there's a swords one. You can use either one. It's all the same thing. I think there was a grapple hook one too. If I'm not, yeah, right here. So you can also use the grapple hook one or whatever, but I just use this. It doesn't really matter. I don't melee anyways. So let's talk about the build. Now for me, this particular build is used for wider coverage of my fire pulls plus more damage, and I want my fire pulls to last longer. So that's the main reason I use this build for the fire pulls. You could make this build particularly for the flamethrower if you would like. You can adjust it any type of way. Maybe I'll make a video like that in the future, just showing that off. But this build is for duration, range, and yeah, that's really about it, huh? Duration and range. Now let me show you what I got. So we got obviously dimension, skill, power modifier. So if you look at your abilities, if you see, it'll tell you what it is. So this one is fire and dimension, and then this flamethrower, fire and dimension, alongside my ultimate ability. The only one that is different is fire and singular, which is my ability to call back. So you don't worry about buffing singular because this one won't really do no damage for you. Now, since we got fire and dimension, what I went ahead and did was I put dimension skill power modifier on, and then I put on this other one right here, fire skill power plus critical hit rate. Now, ideally, I would like to put some critical hit damage in there, max out the critical hit rate, but as you see, I don't have space. I have to use this on him a couple more times. Well, I gotta go get some more of these and use that on him. So this is what we're doing now. So we got the dimension skill power modifier for some damage, and we got the fire skill power modifier for some more damage. And then we also see right here, skill cooldown, max HP. I do need some health, so that way, I don't get one shot all the time. So I do have that on. Then it gives me, I really have this for the skill cooldown. Then we also have another skill cooldown. The only reason why this isn't maxed out is because this one is on my Glay, and I don't want to have to remove it because I invested a lot in Glay. So I need to forma her or put a catalyst on her like 1 or 2 more times, then she'll be good. But so we got some more skill cooldown. We got skill duration here, and we have range. Look at that, plus 92% range. That's juicy. It's actually juicy. So this is really all we have for now for the build, right? Obviously, I'm going to go ahead and optimize it some more, maximize it, because this will be my crowd control AoE character. Well, anyways, okay. Well, as you can see, like right here, not that. This one is for toxic, but get yourself the fire version. When attacking enemies inflicted with fire, your firearm attack gets increased. I would definitely say put that on, just because you're gonna be using fire a lot, especially if you're gonna do a MP build. Now, let's say you are forming him a lot, or using these uh these a lot right here, these catalysts a lot on him, and he's your main character and stuff like that. And you want to do a skill build, right, where you use your skills. What I would recommend is put what I have on now, but also add yourself some stuff for MP. So look for like some MP increase stuff, like max MP up, or MP recovery and stuff like that, just because you're going to be using that constantly. So I would recommend you add that to this build. What I will recommend as well is that you add some kind of at least one health and one defense mod. So look, put this health mod. I know it's 16 points, but you want one health mod, and then you want one defense mod, and then the rest build out your skills. I would say do that. And this one, I would say for your third slot that's empty, put a MP, something for your mana, your MP. Put that. Now that we got this portion of him out of the way, let's talk about the other version of him. Now I put a thing on there. As you can see, my max capacity up is plus 20, so I didn't adjust this build. But I'm not really looking at how to build this one. I'm just gonna show you real quick. So as you see right here, real quick, we got defense there, we got health there, we got skill cooldown here, and then we got skill duration here. Now you're probably wondering why don't you have like skill power and stuff like that, blah blah blah. Blair is a skilled person. Yeah, I get it, but check it out. Look at this transcendent ability. Flame zones absorb a significantly increased weak spot damage and firearm attack instead of skill power. I'm trying to tell you now. I'm trying to tell you now. For the duration of this, I tested it. You can put out a lot more damage than Glay can. The only issue is Glay's damage increase and stuff like that, alongside her infinite ammo for a certain amount of time, but her constant 15%. It's a you can sustain that a lot longer over a longer period of time. So over like in the long run, Glay's better when it comes to DPSing, but Blair with this Transcendent mod does more damage. Now, this changes your abilities, obviously. So look at the icons. See the icon difference? Right? So let's go ahead and I want to show you what this Transcendent mod actually does. So with this one, it's going to be the exact same thing, right? This one doesn't change at all. It's the same thing. This one right here is what changes. So look, you get firearm attack increase by 18%. So it's only 3% higher than Glay, but you get that weak point damage at 8% as well. So that's what like kind of pushes it over the edge, especially if you have really solid aim. That's what really bumps him up. And remember, this is your flame pools. So you put your flame pools down. Don't even have to do damage. You could just drop it at your feet. Drop the flame pools at your feet, and then go ahead and just absorb them. Now remember, you do have a duration, 20 seconds base. Mine is at 26.4. I would, man, I'm gonna try to figure out how to push that higher, the duration higher, so that way I can have that buffer even longer. But then everything else is essentially the same. You know what I mean? Everything is really the same. Now, the only thing that changes is the second ability and the passive. The passive, if you see this, firearm critical hit damage is increased by 10%. Firearm critical hit rate per flame zone is increased. So 14% crit rate, 10% crit damage, with 18% firearm attack increase and 8% weak point damage increase. I'm telling you, like when he is a burst DPS character through and through. With this Transcendent mod, burst damage, and also with his other with his other like skill build, he's burst damage. So it's beautiful. Now let's see about increasing this, right? So we don't care about increasing any of our ability power. So let's go ahead and build them out real quick, like I would build Glay. Okay, so this is the build, right? This is a makeshift build, right? Obviously, we're still missing 4 different more slots and stuff like that. What I will do is, I'll max him out, and make a build later on. Um, Full DPS build, weapon DPS build, and then I'm gonna adjust the this skill DPS build just in case just in case you guys don't have this Transcendent mod, um, and you can't do the weapon DPS build. But I'll maximize both of these and show you guys. But let me show you what we're rocking with this, and then I'm gonna show you the damage. So we got defense, we got health, because we're gonna be running and gunning more. You know, I like to be all up in the action, so I will be taking damage. So we got defense and health. Then we got right here skill cooldown and some more health. And then right here skill duration and HP heal. So when we pick up health orbs, we'll get a little bit more healing from it. We got some more skill cooldown, and then we got skill duration right here, and then we got some more skill cooldown. Now, if you're wanting to know why I have so much skill cooldown, I have 35.3%. It's because the flame zones is what's going to give us. We need those flame zones put down, and we need those flame zones consumed to get our DPS. So as you see, our cooldown went from 12 seconds to 7.8 seconds. So pretty good. And then for this ability, our cooldown went from 22 seconds to 14 seconds. And the duration is 29.7 seconds. So duration is 29.7 seconds, but the cooldown for our flame or each stack is 7.8 seconds. So theoretically, on paper, as long as you have the MP, you can constantly stay in your firearm DPS form. And then the rest of it is okay. It doesn't matter. So let me go ahead and show you, right? So we're going to use my favorite weapon. Oh, yeah, check this out. 500,000 DPS. I'm still working on it, as you see. I still need to do a couple more formulas, add 2 more things, whatever. But 500,000 DPS with an assault rifle, I'm taking it. Anyways, let me show you. I'll put these guys on because they're pretty tanky. We'll turn invincibility. We'll turn it on. We don't really need. Actually, we don't need 9. We'll do 1. Actually, no, we'll leave 9 because I want to show you, see how fast we can kill all 9. All right, so okay, I'm not gonna use that just because of that electric effect. So you see, 27,000 on a headshot, 97,000 on a crit headshot. Now let's say we put 1 flame zone down, we consume it. Bam! Now we got our 1 stack. So we get. Remember, it was 97,000. Now it's 111,000. So we get more weak point damage and some crit rate. And look how long that cooldown is on the left side. Look at that. That's crazy. So let's go ahead and put all 3 down and consume all 3 now. Bam! Now we're at 3 stacks. 123,000 damage increase. It is pretty nice, I will say that. It's pretty freaking nice, right? Now let's go ahead and turn them from being invincible. And let's see what we can do here, right? So we're gonna put our flame zones down. Zoom them all. And let's see. I mean, is that crazy or what? For a weapon? Now, like, obviously, Everything of mine isn't optimized for maximum damage. But boy, oh boy, let me tell you. We got 10,000 health, 526 shields. We don't really care for the shields too much, but we got 10,000 health. It's crazy. It's crazy. For comparison, let's compare some numbers really quick. I want to show you Glay, and I want to show you him, just so you can see. We're gonna put this to 1, and turn him invincible. Now remember, Glay is still top tier for bossing. I'm not saying at all he is way better than Glay. He outshines Glay. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if you don't have Glay or you don't have Ultimate Glay, but you have him, farm up that Transcendant mod, and you'll be able to push out fat damage in a boss fight. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. So, anyways, let's just compare right now. We're gonna fully buff up, and then see what our base damage is plus our crit. So there we go. Got all 3 of our stacks here. Our base damage 35,000, and a crit 123,000. So 35,000 and 123,000. Now let's go ahead and let me save this real quick. Alright, there we go. Let's go switch to Glay. So 35,000 and 123,000. Can't promise you I will remember all of that. So my weapon is, yeah, okay. So with Glay, bam, right here. Remember, 35,000, 123,000. He does more damage, I'm telling you. The only difference is, you know, Glay can stay in this damage increase form a lot longer. A lot longer than Blair can, and then on top of that, yeah, you know, she has her downfalls as well, like her increased damage from you know, what am I doing? What am I doing? Presets. So yeah, she does have her downfalls. With her abilities, you take 10% more damage when you're in your damage DPS form. But as you can see, if you don't have Glay, do this. Get that mod and make this build, weapon DPS build. So save two preset classes like I did right here. So you have setting 1 if you want to use, you know, weapon DPS, and your second one is for, you know, ability DPS. Use both of them. So, anywho, that's Blair in a nutshell. That's some things you can do with it. I definitely see his potential is pretty high. I don't really see nobody. I see everybody right now just solely talking about Glay for bossing. But I think Blair can put out some really nasty damage. As you've seen, he definitely can. Like, but you know, you don't get the infinite ammo. You know what I mean? You will have to reload, and you know, so they're balanced, right? Blair's just straight bursting, so you know, doing like maybe dungeon bosses or just open world elite enemies and stuff like that, you'll be able to fry in a heartbeat. But with Glay, you know, you can really handle up a interception boss just because of her kit is essentially made for single target damage and sustained DPS over time, not just burst. So there we go. That's Blair. And so what I'm gonna do now is there's gonna be 2 videos. I'm gonna go run 2 dungeons. Do I want to run 2 dungeons? I'll go do something. Where I'll showcase his weapon DPS form, and then I'll showcase his um his skill build. So, anyways, if watching the gameplays is something that you want to do, you just wanted to see the builds, I want to say thank you guys for watching. Um, I'm gonna I'm gonna try to crank out some more content here and there. I have another person in mind right now that I'm gonna do after Blair. So if you guys are wanting, it's a female too, just get you thinking. But if you guys enjoy this type of content, if you guys enjoy the way I explain these things or some of the builds that I put together or something like that, I would say like the video, comment, and definitely subscribe to the channel. I'll be making a lot more content here. There's so much more to do. Um, I will be doing another Blair video for all you guys, but The requirements for this next video is to be mastery rank 15. As you see, I'm right there. So just so you guys know, get to 15 as quick as you can, because I have an idea in my head to where you can get even more damage out of Blair. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you guys want to watch the gameplay of both the builds, stay tuned. And if not, hey, I appreciate you anyways. And until next time.
Feel the heat? Retrieval. Loaded. done. Reload. Flame on. Pissing me off.
Mission complete. Great work, Descendant.
Okay, so one thing I want to tell you about this version of one second. So one thing I want to tell you about this version of Blair, let's say we did what was that, 120 million damage? We came close to dying once or twice, whatever, but I wasn't really too pressed. It's fairly easy. So one thing I want to tell you about this version of Blair is what when you're using to maintain your stacks. Let's say, like,
That's enough.
I got all 3 of my stacks or whatever, and I noticed that my cooldown on the left side, my damage increase, is about to go away. As you've seen while I was playing, I was kind of like just dropping a fireball on the floor, just leaving it there, and then I would just call it back at some point in time, and that one resets the whole 3 stack cooldown. So you can maintain his damage increase for quite a bit of time as long as you're paying attention to, that buff on the left side of your screen. Then you can maintain this buff for quite some time if you just pay attention to that. So I just wanted to just tell you that. So, like, you can have sustained DPS like Glade, at least in, like, the dungeon aspect. Yeah.
HQ, Nell here. Commence mission to recapture the seed storage.
That's enough.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't know if it caught it on the recording, but I literally lagged as she pulled her like AoE ability, and I got stuck right in it, lagged and took damage. That's that's so trash.
Feeling the heat? Reload. Shields are down. Loading. Flame on! Oh, damn it. It's cutting time! Reload. Reload. That's enough. Flame on! Reload. Reload. Pissing me off. Watch the floor! How was that? Feel the heat? Reload. How was that? Flame on! Hey, gotta kill us.
Mission complete. Great work, Descendant.
So my thoughts. Um, I don't think, at least for dungeons, I don't think that skill ability or skill power Blair is that guy. I don't think he's that guy. I think you gotta stick with the weapon damage Blair. I think it's just so much better that way. Maybe I'm just playing wrong. Maybe I don't know, but I I got. I mean, if I optimize the damage a bit more, I just don't see him as like. I think I just gotta optimize the damage. I'll just keep. I'll just think that. I do think that for sure though in a group setting, he's for sure solid, especially when it comes to clumped ads, a lot of that. But for solo play, I think ability Blair is not the way to go. Um, Maybe he might be. He might be. If I put on health and defense, maybe I won't die as fast, obviously. So he might be. He might be. But I have to optimize the build a little bit better. But that's that. That's ability Blair. That's weapon DPS Blair. Hey, look, guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. That's just the gameplay for y'all. Y'all can see both of them in action. You pick which one looks the most fun to you. Or if you just want raw damage, pick which one you feel does more damage. With all that being said, thank you guys for watching, and until next time.